Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Eyes Wide Shut, and this movie is directed by Stanley Kubrick, and it stars Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and it came out in 1999, and I really loved this movie, and going into it, I had no idea if I was even going to like it or not, because the only things that I ever heard about it was there was nudity in it, and it was very weird, and that's all I ever heard about it. And then I watched the movie, and personally, I was expecting the movie to have a lot of nudity to the point where it was like 50% of the movie you would see nudity, and the rest of the movie was going to be really weird or something. And what I got was a movie that perfectly understood exactly what it wanted to do. And I think what it does really well is the story. And it's one of those movies where you see the first 30 minutes, all right? And you think you know where everything's going to go. And there are some things that you can predict about it that you can see coming. But as the movie goes along, it starts to go on different routes, and you can never really predict where it's going to go. And I just find that so amazing about it is that I can't stay ahead of this movie. I'm always with it. I'm focused. I'm not unable to keep up with it at the same time. It's not super fast paced. It's nice and slow. It gives each scene in this movie a lot of time to breathe, and the dialogue in the movie is great, and the performances are great as well. And Tom Cruise, I thought he was really good in the movie, and I was kind of concerned at first because Tom Cruise being in an art film directed by Stanley Kubrick, I was always a bit hesitant about that. And I'm not saying I don't like him, it's just that I liked him in Magnolia a lot, and I thought he was given a great character to play, and he was never distracting in that movie, but I was just unsure if he would be able to pull off a character like that that's not doing a lot of stunts or just more dramatic, and you would take him seriously. And that was pretty much my main concern with this movie was Tom Cruise, but he actually did a pretty good job, and I was convinced by his performance. And he plays a doctor in the movie, and the movie doesn't just cast him as a doctor for the sake of just having a doctor in the movie, because that's just something that the movie can come up with that he could be. But no, it actually uses the fact that he is a doctor to get around certain places and to find answers to things. And one thing that I really love is that how he uses the fact that he's a doctor, as I said already, to get in touch with people and use it as an excuse to get certain things. There's a scene in this movie where he's trying to find one of his friends, and he tells a server at a restaurant is I'm trying to find this person, and I'm a doctor. And he pulls out his ID to show that he's a doctor, and he kind of lies that I'm this person's doctor, and I'm trying to get in touch with them. I'm trying to actually see them, because I forget his excuse for saying it, seeing this person, but that's how he uses it to his advantage, and to quickly get answers that he wants. There's no scene in this movie where any drama is forced, and there's no scene where you see characters just yelling in a really cartoonish way that's distracting. And it's all very real. All the characters feel like real people, and they have really great conversations, and that's really what I took away from this movie. And one of many things that I took away from this movie, sorry. And I also really loved Nicole Kidman in this movie. She's not in it a lot, but when she's on screen, she's really great. And in the first 30 minutes, you get so much of these characters, and there's these tiny little things that you pick up on, and it tells you everything you need to know about their characters. And Tom Cruise is being led by two girls they met at a party early on in the movie, and he's like, "Where are we going?" And it's a surprise. And eventually just decides, no, I'm not going to do this because I'm married. And Nicole Kidman, she's drunk and has had champagne at this same exact party, and she's dancing with this one guy, and she's just she overshares certain things, and she almost gets involved in certain things that she shouldn't. And I thought that was a really great scene. And another thing that I love about this movie are the side characters in this movie. And some of them only have about 5 minutes of screen time, but they add so much to the movie, and they really enhance the experience that I get from this movie. And some of them are pretty funny, and they get to different emotions out of me, and they're just kind of there as an excuse to get the plot going, but they do develop some of these characters, and without spoiling anything, it is very interesting how each one reacts differently, and I just really love the characters in this movie. I thought the music in this movie was well used and appropriate for every scene that was in, and very memorable, and I really thought that the music added a lot to the experience, and it always complements each scene that it's in. And there are some scenes where it's tense and the music kind of slowly builds and builds, and it complements the tone so well without spoiling anything. And like I said earlier, it's kind of a very unpredictable movie, and the music complements that, and it always is along with the tone of the movie, and never works against it, and is just very well used overall. And like all of Stanley Kubrick's movies, or at least the ones I've seen, the movie looks excellent, and it's shot very symmetrically, and it's always very appealing to the eye, how it's presented, and there's so much going on in this movie that I just love. And I thought the movie ended really strong, and there were some nice reveals in the movie that I loved. And there are some things that this movie is asking you to read into, and you're going to have to think about it once you're done with the movie, because there's a lot to chew on in this movie, and every 45 minutes is basically a meal's worth of information to process. And I'm not saying that as a negative, I'm saying that as a positive, because that's what I want out of a movie like this. I want to think about it. I want to have it stick with me. And Eyes Wide Shut just really sells exactly what I want. And the only issue I had with this movie, and it's just a tiny, tiny little thing, and there's a little bit of a thinking experience, or dreams, not a dream sequence, but it's a little moment where it's it has a blue color palette to it, and it's supposed to get you in to what's going on in Tom Cruise's head as to one thing that he's thinking about. And this happens 4 times in the movie, and I understand why it's there. It makes sense to me, but there's a part of my head that's thinking you probably didn't need that. But it doesn't hurt the movie. I don't take off points for it, even though I do have an issue with the movie. And there is a lot more to talk about with this movie, but unfortunately I have to spoil the movie in order to talk about those things. So I'm just going to end it right here. I think Eyes Wide Shut is really great, and every choice in it is very purposeful, and the movie just achieves in everything that it sets out to do, and I just love it for all those reasons. It's presented wonderfully, and I just don't know what else to say about it. I just love it to bits. And originally I was thinking a 9 out of 10, simply because there were other Kubrick movies that I like better. And even now, I would say that there are some that I like better, like Barry Lyndon, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange, The Shining. Those 4 I like better than Eyes Wide Shut, but after letting it sit with me for a while, it just got better, and thinking about it, it makes it a much better experience, and it's a movie that wants you to think about it, and because I gave it so much time to process it in my head, it got a lot better. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Eyes Wide Shut a 10 out of 10. And one more thing that I want to bring up, I like Eyes Wide Shut about as much as I like Paths of Glory. I'm not sure if I like it better than Paths of Glory. I would have to rewatch Eyes Wide Shut a second time in order to confirm which one I like better, but that's about where it is at right now. It's kind of at number 5 for me. 5 or 6 because of Paths of Glory. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Eyes Wide Shut, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Twilight, but New Moon this time, the second one. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.